about as good as it's gonna get. Fuck it. Let's rock and roll. Touchdown, Let's talk about things. I guess I gotta fix things. I took a fucking damn shit like fucked up, right? And for the deal, I had to like restart everything. Sure. Doodly doodly doo doo. All right, I'm doing like stuff, so just yeah, don't mind me. Uh, There we go. It exists. All right, cool. There we go. All right, so don't ask me what he's doing. Don't inquire about my whereabouts. Just know I'm here now. All right, so what is the motherfucker, man? I am your host, Ed Honcho. Welcome to the Den. The Den, discussing everything normally, something like that. Tonight we're going to talk about stuff. We're going to talk about representation. I'm talk about why Black women have the worst representation. Right. Fix this. All right. We're talking about why Black women have the worst representation, right? And I'm serious, and it's not a bashing session. I promise it's not about bashing. I really am inquiring. Like I really want to know. I'm really seeking the truth, justice, and the American way. Um, because I'm like, who is the good Black female role model these days, right? Because the people that are pushed to the forefront, um, the Jadas. I don't want to say the Jadas is a role model, but I mean this is who you see a lot of, right? But it's always the right now the sexy reds of the world, right? Hot topic. The hottest thing in 2023 might be sexy red, right? Um, we'll talk about that. Nobody talks about Oprah. They just talk about Oprah's money. But let's see who we have joining us. Let's talk about it. Let's get into a good conversation. And after we do our Den folk roll call type thing, we got a bunch of interesting stuff to talk about. So I see Heidi's here. Somebody called the Gestapo. The lovely Miss D the Gamma, aka Phi Slammer Gamma. How are you doing this evening? DeMarkey. Hey DeMarkey. No, I didn't see Shannon Sharp. You know I don't be watching that shit, man. Michelle's here. The lovely Miss Bell Northside. What's the motherfucking deal? BMT Big Money Texas? Big Money Texas in the building? Already. Shout out to Brandon Anderson. Already I see you. Let me see. Chill out. Not telling y'all to chill out. I'm saying the name, chill out. What's the motherfucking deal? The lovely Miss K Grace is here. Always good to see Miss K Grace. And yeah, Miss K Garcia. In 4K. But yeah, so let's talk about it. Vince, what's the motherfucking deal? Shout out to Vince, man. Good man, Mr. Bryson. Shout out to Vince in the building. I want to talk about something. I want to talk about a couple of things, right? I'm finna like, I don't know. I'm gonna start doing terrible stuff. Not not terrible stuff, but like probably not the most wholesome stuff. Right. And what I mean by that is not what you're thinking when we know you're disgusting, honcho. We don't need you to rub it in. No, not about that. I think I'm gonna pick up a terrible gambling habit. Like, right. I'm feeling like it's about time for a midlife crisis. I mean, I'm thinking and I'm probably past middle. It's a black man in America, right? I'm already should be collecting Social Security or something, right? But but all bullshit to the side. Like, that's about time for a midlife crisis. I could use a crises or two, not government, non-government created, right? To make my own personal problems. And you're like, oh, so why gambling? I don't know, right? I don't know. I feel like that's the one with the best upside, right? Like you're gonna have a degenerate problem. At least get one that has a little bit of upside to it, right? Like winning money is always good. Like losing it probably sucks, but I'm pretty sure it's not as bad as having to like go to rehab or some shit for some drugs or something. So I think gambling would be a good direction to go. That's actually a fucking. I don't know why. Let me write that down. You talk about a midlife crisis, the topic. But yeah. So I'm thinking about that. Right, I might do it. I don't know. But I see. Here's my thing. Like I am anti gambling. I do not gamble. Like the most I will gamble is like buying a fucking lotto ticket, and that's when the bitch has to be like, you know, 9 figures. Something stupid. Make sure I got all my supplies. And so, anyway, anyway, let's see. DeMarkey, I don't know. I think the consensus was that DeMarkey had bad taste, and so people were concerned about him using and abusing his rich privileges. I believe um, there were several replies in the suggestion box. I have a moderator suggestion box, and DeMarkey definitely received the most complaints. Um, but all bullshit to the side. Let's talk about it. Representation. And you sit here and say, "Well, Honcho, you don't do anything but bash black women all day, so you don't even really give a shit." I do, I do, I do, I do, I really do. Right? I do. For out there somewhere, there is someone who is looking up or watching these individuals and thinking that this is the way to be, right? And it's especially bad because I don't necessarily like to I don't necessarily talk down. I don't talk about people's looks, right? Necessarily. But I will talk about their attachments. I will talk about the accessories. I will talk about the add-ons, right? Like that shit is not part of your fucking body. I'm gonna talk about it. I have free reign. And I might talk about you too. I'm like, let me stop lying. I don't talk about. I'll talk about people occasionally, right? So I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say I don't because I do, but and so you know, talk about Sexy Red in particular, right? Because this is what's being promoted, it's being pushed, in this agenda, and now she's pregnant, right? Now she's pregnant, as if we don't complain enough about the single mother problem in particular communities, right? Now the hottest, most popular thing going right again. When you start to run out of fuel, that was like probably I won't say the smartest thing she could do, but it's definitely a last ditch cling to. Because I mean, come on, she's a terrible rapper. She said all the most atrocious shit she could say. The run is about over, right? It's about over. So getting pregnant was the best thing she could do. Let's talk about it. Let's look at a couple of things. I find it disgusting. I said I was going to start showing content. with stuff, so y'all can say, "Hey, I don't know what you're talking about," and y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Oh, we're still on that type of stuff. We're not on that. Hold on. Let me fix that shenaniganery. We are no longer love bombing. Let's get that out of here. Uh, so let me show y'all this. Let me fix this. Doodly 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 doo. Doodly 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 doo. Uh, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. So we'll just scroll the thing. This woman is not an attractive woman. It's all the accessories, all the extra stuff. It's all of the whatever. Like, you know, without all that, she could have been a decent librarian or something, right? You just got kind of like a little whatever look. But now you're doing all this stuff. And why I say this to me is very bad is because you have a lot of right now. We've talked about it before. Like young women, especially, are the most impacted, affected, mentally unstable group in America right now. And I'm not saying this is not bashing, this is facts. The studies are out there. They're depressed. They're trying to live up to this imaginary standard, again, set by women, blamed on by men, but set by women. Of this imaginary standard, these women photoshopping themselves and getting these implants and doing all this crazy stuff on Instagram because that's where the attention is. And women, we all know, are dope fiends for attention, right? And so they crave that, they need that attention, they have to have it. And so you got people like the sexy reds of the world giving little girls who might not be viewed as attractive or viewed as, interesting, any kind of, well, hey, if I just flaunt myself in the most ridiculous way, and again, there's already naturally hood rats like that. Like sexy red did not create this, but she's giving those borderline or those susceptible youth the go ahead, say it's okay, right? And it's kind of hard. It's almost like back in the day when they used to talk about like drug dealers and things like that. Because why fucking listen to your teacher when you make more money than your fucking teacher does, right? Like, why am I taking advice from you? You're struggling to pay your bills or do this, this, and this, and I'm making more fucking money than you, right? So you got people looking at, well, she gets more attention and this, and this from than your mom does, right? Or your parents, or you see a lot of women in the hood who look like this. So this is like, again, this is that validation. Well, men will accept you, men will take you if you look like this. And that's why I was so disgusted, because one of the players I used to really like Sauce Gardner. I had to disown that nigga because he brought sexual. Like imagine one, right? Like this is your baby mama. Like imagine this. Like I want y'all to look at this, right? Now, your baby mama has been hot, been popping all summer long for the last few months. I don't know. I can't visually tell you how much it takes to or how far along she is, or whatever it may be, whatever it may be. Like we'll have sauce nice. We'll have the sauce probably Thursday. I've been working on cleaning up the bots for that, so I know y'all want some. I've been cleaning up some things for the sauce. There's some things I want to do with the sauce. I've been telling y'all, like I want to go ahead, like I'm taking the bye week to implement a few things, because for those of you who watch, sauce has always been ahead of the game when it comes to these other motherfuckers. So I got a few things I'm taking these couple of days to implement, and hopefully, I can get the whole piece of the puzzle together. So I know there are sauce requesters. We will make that happen. But imagine this is your baby mama, right? And she's been out thoughting all summer, popping her ass on every motherfucking nigga that come out and dropped a fucking shitty sex tape. And now you're pregnant. This is your baby. This is your baby being exposed to all of this shit, right? Like, this is your baby being exposed to all of this shit, right? And again, and again, when men say something about this, you're the bad guy. You're the piece of shit. You're a bad person for speaking on, for speaking on these bad behaviors. Like it's like, come on, man. This is terrible, right? And then the thing is, everywhere you're looking, everybody's promoting, everybody's celebrating. Like, I'm not knocking anybody's lifestyle. Like, if that's who you are, do you in your doings of yourself, right? But for this shit to be promoted and put out there like this is just it. And all the nigga, like, I won't say I've had an epiphany because I haven't, right? And it was funny because when I first saw that Sexy Red was pregnant, I thought of Miss Grace. I absolutely thought of Miss Grace, right? And the reason why I thought of Miss Grace is because she talks about how men will fuck anything, right? And that's exactly what I thought of. I'm like, you know what? Whoever hit that right again. We've seen several videos. We've seen a couple of videos of not that sexy red doing not that sexy. Seen a video of her performing on stuff. I'm not trying to body shame. I'm not trying to insult, but like the bar has been set so fucking low, right? This bitch is the Ice JJ Fish of rappers, of female rappers. But because she will say the most off the wall shit and she looks the way she does, like, come on, bro. Like, we talked about, like, modern black women don't know what sexy is, right? And we gotta differentiate because, again, like, I feel like I have to say this every stream. I shouldn't have to. I hate to do it. But, if you've been here long enough, then you should know. If not, I get it. I definitely get it. What the fuck is this? No. I get it. But you got to think about the women we're talking about, right? And honestly, when I'm talking about modern women, I'm I'm speaking from 18 to about the 45 range, right? And like this, because this is kind of the range I see. Now, once you start getting to the upper end, you have some. I think you kind of start that group where a lot of this behavior wasn't acceptable. Once you kind of get past that, but again, that number's always going to move a little bit further as these type of people get older, right? So it's going to get worse. It's always going to be worse. But again, this is the representation that y'all are putting out for the youth to see. Excuse me. And I know people, oh, it's just the song. It's just no, it's not the ski yee. We look at the little kids. The teacher is teaching this kids ski yee. Now, I ain't here not an alphabet. I'm not hearing none of the little kids know to rap, but can they fucking read? We're gonna take it. And then, like, if y'all listen to the little ski stupid fucking song, I don't know if I still got it. They're all talking about we love our workbooks and all, and then you throw your fucking books all over the place. Like, can you if you care about the knowledge, just you cherish the knowledge, you hold the knowledge, you love. They're not teaching these kids shit. We already talked about. I can't say a certain type of kids who had basically a 2 year summer break um, via computer learning, and because when you say that, you get you get acknowledged with something that's not factual, right? You get told that you are spreading certain types of bad information, even though it's true, right? Ask any educator, ask anybody in the education system about the youth now and how far behind they are, right? It's worse than ever. And then in certain districts where it's already bad, it's even worse. So what you're doing is you're pushing through kids who are ignorant, who lack skills. And when you're not intelligent, you lack self-esteem. And so when you're this type of kid, especially a young girl, this is what you're looking up to because I have nothing else to offer. I can do what she's doing, and she's getting paid for it, and you're encouraging this. And so what is happening this mentality is getting encouraged. I saw Mama dancing to this song. I saw my auntie dancing to this song and doing it, and it's you're encouraging this, and it's okay. Everybody talking about this, like that's what's up. So when you got a group of people who are desperate for attention, I talked about them being depressed, and being the most volatile group, because again, you're in that stage where you're looking up to something that's not realistic, and half of them don't know it, especially like this generation. Like people have a hard time determining deciphering what's real and what's fake, right? So it's crazy. You don't understand anything I'm saying? Good. So this is where we get to talk about Heidi. Sexy Red Heidi's big N word and not the cool N word. and all that other stuff. So yeah. Anyway, but no, but really, like this is what gets promoted. This is what is being told to young girls that this is what you need to be like to be successful, right? And I know you say, well, their mothers should. Well, we know the mothers aren't doing it, right? And if dad is around or isn't in the picture or whatever, you know, who knows? Who the fuck knows? That's a whole different story. But we talk about black excellence, right? Or not we. People talk about black excellence. And then this is the thing that gets the most attention in the black community. We talk about the white man is pushing this music and this agenda and he's just making it so bad. This is the shit we live. This bitch was like a world star joke. Right? This bitch was like a world star joke. Fucking my pussy pink, my booty hole brown. This is a joke. Hey, I heard this stupid bitch. Ha 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 ha. And now it's the biggest sensation in music this year, and it's terrible. It's awful. It's terrible. It's like I don't fucking know, man. I don't know, but it's not good. It's not. There's you. None of you have ever heard, or none of you have ever seen. You can say I'm hating, whatever. Prove me wrong, right? Like prove me wrong, and you can't call me a hater unless you can prove me wrong. You have never heard a bar from Six. You never like, man, sexy red kill that hoe. You ain't never heard nothing. You never been like, man, that was a thought provoking statement. You've never done any of that. Listen, you have gotten dumber and more animalistic by listening to you got you lost a couple of brain cells. Like you've lost time in your life that you're not going to get back. Like you did not invest properly if you're sitting there listening to this. It's the worst shit you've ever heard. Her, the Sukis, the I'm home. We're talking about the shit. Some name. Somebody used to fuck with P Diddy, right? And just like all of these people apparently who have these not so positive images, but they get attention, they get promotion, they get what are these bad girl club, these things like. And so I say again, all of this, and this is not all about Sexy Red. It's not all negatively about Sexy Red. I say all of this stuff because I'm asking. I truly am asking. Because you can name all 5, 10, 15, 20 negative influences, right? If we just want to go down that path. But where are the positive promotions, right? Like where are the positive influences? Like where are who is representing, who is being a positive black female role model that's getting promoted, right? Because we have a certain group heavily promoting, what do they call them, panda bears, heavily promoting certain groups as this, that, and the third, but yet you're not seeing that quote unquote black excellence when these groups are promoted, right? You're not seeing these things, and so I'm curious. These demographics are questionable, right? Yeah. So, uh, see, fucking diet, man. Nah, but and here's the thing, right? But everybody loves Sexy Red. The whites love Sexy Red. The reds love Sexy Red. The Asians and the other persuasions. Um, whoa, whoa, whoa. So again, like I say, it is messed up, right? Oh, and it is To Be Tuesday night. My bad, I've been forgetting to say that. It is To Be Tuesday night, and we will be dropping that in the Discord. I've been all over today, and yes, uh, we will be on that. But yeah, so again, let me finish saying what I was saying. But here's my thing, right? Imagine if this is your baby mama. Imagine like she been popping and thotting and dropping sex and doing all over. Like imagine this is the mother of your child. What is going to come out of this, right? What is the ultimate outcome? And she already has one kid. So it's not like she's gonna just turn mother all of a sudden I'm gonna be a good mother. Like that never fucking happens, right? That You hear stories. I was living recklessly, and then I had a child, and I got it all. It's very rare, very, very rare, and usually in situations like that, it takes a little bit of external motivation, to get at that point. Anywho, um, terrible. But again, this is what's being promoted as black excellence. This is what is being promoted as black beauty. And then you wonder why people say what they say, right? Again, I could go in on the hair, I could go in on all that stuff. It's not just a bashing. It's just really more about her behavior and how it represents a lot of black women. Because here's the thing: I've already told y'all who listens to her music. It's not black. It's not straight black men are not listening to sexy red music. It serves them no purpose. And I want to say stuff, and I don't. No, I don't know. I just don't know. It's to the point. Um, it's to the point where I just don't know. Like, look at this, man. Look at this. This is where she talking about she pregnant. All these pictures. Look how she out there. When I talk about modern women, when I say these things, and y'all like, oh, so it's not the women. These are modern women. The women you didn't even know women who dressed like this. Like even at their raunchiest, it wasn't like this. This is certified hooker attire, right? Like she badges in to the boulevard. Like this is it. I mean, what else do you say, right? And all of this, right? I thought motherhood was the great thing. Like when we talk about this stuff, we talk about all great mothers, and we talk about if motherhood is the ideal thing, right? Motherhood starts what at conception. Some of you believe, some people, whatever. We're not going to get into that debate tonight, but if motherhood is this great thing and it's such a celebration, then you start to nurture that thing once you know uh, it exists, once you know what's inside it. But instead, for the sake of fame and attention, you rather, be doing that. So that's why I say, like, certain women, a lot of them, they don't value this motherhood shit. It's just something to do. It's more attention. Oh, you pregnant? Look at you. Hey, look, I've been living life. I didn't hold it up enough. I ain't got nothing else going on. People, they know all my hotivities. Oh, let me get pregnant. Oh, now everybody cares again because you're having a fucking kid, right? A lot of these women just do this shit for more attention. They use it as a pawn. They use it either to trap a dude or whatever. It's like there's bad intentions behind all of this shit. But again, I said I wasn't trying to come to bash, but I keep going down the rabbit hole. I just can't help it. Like, look at this shit, man. Look at this shit. I couldn't breathe. I was pregnant as fuck on here trying to suck in my Bely. Wow. You don't have to spell these days. It is okay to be an idiot. Pound Town 2 with Nicki Minaj, right? One of the other big. So again, like when women come together, this is what happens. And again, y'all can be mad at me. Y'all can say what you want to say. But you know what I'm saying? Look at this. Look, this is somebody. Anyway, all right. Look at this. Look at this. Like, what is that shit? Look like a fucking pack of Sour Patch Kids or something, right? Terrible stuff. Terrible. 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 What the hell, man? Anyway, I show all of y'all this stuff. Just say, who is this in the background? Like, who is this right here? Who is this person looking ass? Not a natural in sight. Look at this. Look at this shit. And it's sad that you have to say natural. Like, it's sad that it's an appreciation to see motherfuckers wear what grows out of their fucking heads. Like, it blows my fucking mind. Blows my fucking mind. Um, so there it is. Again, right? This is the representation. This is the whatever. The upcoming bundle of joy is Sexy Red Secretary. Ain't no goddamn bundle of joy. Some bundle of decrepitness. Anyway, we can get into the Jada thing. We all know what's going on with Jada, so I'm not necessarily going to go all the way in on that. We've kind of addressed it. Will he is who we thought he was, and like at this point, and I've said it before, but at this point, like Jada has a secret on Will, right? And it's it's so crazy. It's so crazy to me, man. Because if you reverse this situation, like turn this situation around, reverse the sexes in this situation, and say this was Will and all the publicity, and he was fucking his daughter's friend, and all this other shit comes out. Then he goes on a fucking book tour, and everybody welcomes him on their shows with open arms. Fuck no. That motherfucker would not get 1 minute of free press for that fucking book. Nobody would associate with. They'd fucking be so far away from like it would just be a whole issue. Right? It would be a completely different thing. This is why I continue to say that regardless of how you feel, men and women, we don't live equal lives, right? In general. Of course, different scales of things for different types of people's lives, right? But women live life in a world that is always going to be much more receptive of you, your mistakes, your faults, and your minor wins, right? Um, Men don't get that same treatment, and it's not like it matters. Like it's not like, oh well, we cry, we get it. That's the weird part. Like you ain't got to cry about it. Like who gives a fuck? But we can't act like it's equal because it's not, and that's the whole thing. There's just a difference, and not saying that there aren't matters that women deal with that men don't, right? But it doesn't necessarily make it more difficult. Uh, it just means you just have a different set of problems. Um, because there's no way, there's no dude, none of that would be acceptable. None of this would be, and again, what does Jada really do? Her whole relevancy has been off of fucking like recently has been off of embarrassing her husband. Like that's the only thing that she is now known for, right? 335, motherfucking deal. Again, it is what it is. It is what it is, right? As a grocery store, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, have you seen it? And no, I don't. I don't hate women, Heidi. I don't hate women at all. Not even in the slightest. I love them. I think they're the greatest things ever invented, right? I will I would willingly give another rib. But I'm not afraid to admit when these bitches is fucked up, right? When these bitches is fucked up. And they real fucked up. So I gotta do a whole lot of complaining about it, right? It is what it is. Do I think every woman in the world that I encounter is gonna be like that? No. Why? Because I decide who I encounter. I pre-validate. I don't want to say prejudge. See, look, you're fucking prejudiced. I pre-validate, right? There are markers, there are signs, there are things, and again, no, no system is foolproof, right? Even the best of the best sometimes fail the test. No system is foolproof, but it works well for me. It helps keep out. It helps minimize dealing with crazy people, right? So there again. Uh, well, you should, Tidy. That would be the reason I do it. That would definitely be the reason I do it, Heidi. But and again, you don't even associate around them like that because you are extremely prejudiced. Most you've been around black women is in the den. So again, though, like I said, there are a lot of a lot of things, and this is not to say that black men don't have their problems. It's not that black men don't have their problems, and because we do, right? And this is the thing, but that's the thing. Like, here's the difference between black men and black women, modern black men and black women, right? Black men got vilified because they found value in the things that Kevin Samuels was saying, right? And I'm not the Kevin Samuels worshiper. There's a lot of things that works for him don't work for me. Cool, right? And anybody should be like any nigga. I find niggas weird when you start like talk like that's that man's philosophy. Like if you a man, you got your own fucking philosophy. You don't really give a fuck. Like that's his philosophy. Okay, that's cool. Those principles work for him, right? And so that's why I say people like abnormally follow them, and then people who just abnormally. That's like weird. Like there's a balance. Like I fuck with what he's talking about. I get what he's trying to do. I don't 100% agree with everything he's saying, but I fuck with a lot of it. Anyway, but a man who was trying to promote, marriage, positivity, or relationships, staying together, like getting a real understanding of shit. Um, and he was vilified. He was talked down upon, right? Because he criticized. Well, I won't even say criticized because he set standards, right? And everybody can set their own standards. That's what black men got vilified for celebrating. Black women get celebrated for celebrating the sexy reds of the world, right? The Sukianas and the others like that. That's okay. Nobody says anything is wrong with that except me. But nobody else says anything is wrong with that. Nobody mentions and says, "Hey, maybe this ain't a good idea. Maybe we shouldn't be openly promoting this type of activity. Maybe this is for grown folks or however you want to call it, right?" But nobody says that. It's okay. You didn't see old buddy get out there and make no bitch pop no pussy, throw no money on them, do all that. Even them, the shit, that shit is okay, right? The hood shit is okay. We doing all that shit. That's okay. Nobody cares. Niggas shooting niggas up, niggas doing all that. Nobody gives a fuck. But let somebody say, hey, we need some structure and order. And this punk motherfucker think he know everything. Bitch ass nigga. Like, we're so fucking weird. We're a very dysfunctional people. Y'all know y'all took my card away, so I don't even get to. I just y'all might tag me. I don't know. It's been a while though. It's been a while since I've been called a coon. I haven't. I guess I ain't been going hard enough lately, so I got to get some new shit going. But again, niggas talk about positive structure, beneficial shit. Hey, man, did y'all see the shit? Oh, I wish I meant to. It's a bunch of shit I need to. I actually have. Like I said, I've been working on some stuff and thinking about how I need to start approaching dens and things moving forward. But did y'all see the thing where the chick said, "Can we normalize black people not getting excited over men wearing suits?" Some shit like that. Because it was a picture of a bunch of black men dressed nicely in suits, young men, older men, all it was. I don't know what kind of little event or whatever it was. All kinds of real sharp, real cool, real cool shit, right? Like very respectable, commendable shit. Niggas do something positive. Who it is? A fucking bitch got to come out of left field just to hate. Like niggas can't do nothing. Remember I told y'all yesterday. I asked I asked Miss Grace a question. I didn't answer the reason why yesterday in the chat, but I told y'all in the Discord, right? We talked about the hibachi. Talked about the hibachi, right? And bitch said if a nigga if the chef throw food in your mouth at the hibachi, you sassy. I done seen a broad say if you write in cursive, you sassy. I done heard broad say if you uh basically argue back with a woman, you sassy. Like so a bitch is supposed to just tell you whatever, basically. You just supposed to sit there and take like this standard. And that's why I be telling y'all niggas like, look, And people can feel how you want to feel. Let me tell y'all niggas, there's few things women hate more. Few things that women hate more than the man who don't stand on his 10. So regardless of what the loss may be, whatever the L may be, fellas, it's always in your best interest. Just stand on your 10, stand on your beliefs. Always. Because all this crazy logic, and these are the people you are listening to and valuing the opinions of, right? These are the people you're telling me you letting listen to it tell you that you're not a real man, or this, that, and the third. Like, and so this is why when I say modern women or this women argue with me, no, it's not, no, it's not, no, it's not. But y'all aren't looking at the same women that we're looking at, because there's these women are prevalent, right? There is a large uh, a group of them. And so women like who might hang out in the den, you wouldn't be associating necessarily with women in that direction. Or if you do, you look at it more as entertainment and not realizing how much of a problem it is. So like even with some of these reality shows, right? It's entertainment. It's ha ha he he. You're like, oh, look, these ghetto bitches. Not realizing what happens in our community. And whatever the people on TV doing, everybody else starts mimicking and doing, right? There's a reason why we see more ghetto ass fights with a certain demographic, which is a small portion of the population, than anybody else. There's a reason you see one group of people fighting more than why, right? And so again, I go on this rant and I do all this. I said all this and I've gotten away from what I wanted to say. Um, are there any positive black female role models being promoted today? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. Right? Where? What did you say? Let's see. Yeah. But again, who do you think raised the black men that filled the prisons? Right? We know the statistics. Anyway, all right. I know everybody's getting upset. He's talking about the women. I can't take it anymore. I'm very upset. Yeah, exactly. If you think differently, if you have your own opinion, if you have an opinion that is not overly exalting black women, especially, then you are gay. Who hurt you? Something wrong with you. You're sassy. Like, why? And ultimately, it's almost like, why niggas even care? Like, why? Right? Go get your Sally Lynn. She go horseback ride with you in the mountains, right? You know, she'll fucking make you uh oatmeal in the fucking mornings, right? Fresh squeezed orange juice. Go where you're treated best, fellas. Well, have you seen black mothers these days, Heidi? Have you seen them? I just showed you one. I just showed you. Did I not? Did I just not show you uh black moms these days? Right here? Where's it? Where the put it? You need to see it again? You don't think that women like this raise you don't think that women like this raise murderers? You don't think that women like this are the birthers of the bad guys? See, there's a reason why Heidi doesn't call in, y'all. She can only handle the chat, because if she ever called in, I'd have to give her the old Huncho beat down. I wouldn't want to do it, but I do it as a loving friend, because that's who I am. A loving friend. All right, let's open the line, man. Let's get on it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Ah, son of a gun. Let me fix this. I don't know why that shit is doing whatever the fuck it's doing. But shout out to Coach Lamont. Welcome to the den. Um, but yeah, man, like I said, it's a bunch of nonsense, it's a bunch of bullshit. And so this is the stuff that we promote. And the reason I'm complaining, right, because I love black women. This is the truth, right? I do, and I would love to see better. I would like to have a better selection for the young men out there, to choose from, because I feel extremely bad for the good young men coming up now and what they have to choose from. Because again, I said you had men or young men looking up to Kevin Samuels, was telling you to, take pride in yourself, do better for yourself, level yourself up, and then you have, more options. And women hated to hear that. They didn't like, don't you tell them that. And even told women the same shit. Level yourself up. You have more options. Lose some weight, tighten up. Hey, if you got certain burdens, well, unless you're going to remove those burdens, you're going to have to deal with that. Didn't want to hear that shit. Men was okay with saying, being told, hey, nigga, you're not good enough. You got to tighten up. Do what you got to do. Okay, cool. Got it. Tell women that shit. Fuck that, nigga. You better take me as I am, otherwise you a punk ass nigga. You're sassy. Like, come on, man. Like, get the fuck out of here. So again, like I say, all of this stuff is wild. It's really crazy. Um, and so I ask again, who are the positive black female role models? Let me open up the list. I can't rap. I was gonna beatbox. I was gonna really get. Let me. What if? How about this? How about this? Right? What if I change my name to Sexy Ed? I think I can get some clout off that. If I dye my dreads red like what was that weirdo's name? Lil Yachty. Yeah, be like Lil Yachty. And set this on camera, piece of shit. Yeah, and I'll do that, and I'll call myself Sexy Ed, and I'll say Den Town. Let's go to Den Town. I don't got no raps for it. But I don't know. I think this camera's tripping. Let me see. Anyway, let us take out the calls. Let us get ready to take out the calls. You give me 1 second. Let me see what we do right here. I see this is a problem. Should give me 1 minute. I fix that problem. Right. Okay, so you don't see me right now. See me right now, but I come back for you. So give me just 1 second. I come back. Anyway, so while I'm figuring out my technical difficulties, whatever the fuck I just did, I told y'all, look, players fuck up, but we fix up. And that's what really counts. Uh, got all kind of shenanigans going on. Anyway, give me just a second. Like I said, I'm finna open up the line. We're gonna take some calls. We're gonna see what y'all talking about. Matter of fact, look, we can take some. No, maybe not. Let's do it like this. I gotta make shit overly unnecessarily complicated. I'm put the dead line number up. Let me open up the line. And blickety. Y'all know how it goes. Blickety blickety loud. All right, that's the dead line number. Y'all call that number right there. I'm going to reappear Alakazam. All right, so I'm back in this thing. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I'm taking any audio information. Blickety loud. Right, see, I do this in real time, baby. I do this. Actually, I don't look sexy red no more. And like again, like how you just I ain't even finna get on it. I ain't even finna like I'm not. I promise I'm not hating. It's just like these are the thoughts that go in my mind. Like she's an average hood chick, right? It's not. She's not a 10 in anybody's book. She just does a lot of stuff to generate attention. So like women who are not necessarily attractive. You can say whatever you want to. Let's keep it real. Women want to be desired. Women want to be lusted after. It's in a woman's nature to want that. And so when a woman is not being lusted after or desired, she's gonna do one or two things. She's gonna go in one or two directions. She's either gonna go into like complete depression and just turn to like a dirty old like hermit cat lady. You know what I mean? And if you're into that, that's you. Or she's going to go in a direction where she's going to do whatever it takes to get someone to pay attention to her, right? So, give me 1 second. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have called? Well, actually, let me make sure we got that even. See, I'm making stuff. Let me fix this. Let me got that connected. I think we should begin now. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
It's Belle. I had to redeem myself and call in first tonight.
Okay, well, Miss Bell, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing okay. I thought a lot about the topic tonight, and I don't necessarily have what do you call it, a stake in Black women's culture, but I can see over generations of growing up through looking at women's culture across the board. As it's come down the generations, the freedom of the clothes coming off has kind of been happening generationally. There was a comment, I don't know if it was yesterday or sometime this last week, about like the early 1900s, that the women at at the at the shorelines were covered basically from head to toe in clothing when they went to the ocean, and now you've got little more than a bra and underwear going on. So it's a sexual freedom, but it doesn't necessarily make it a true freedom. And you made a point of saying that, I think, would you say like 45 and under were less prohibitive than the previous generations? And I think you're right. We were shamed with modesty in my generation of growing up. And I don't know if there's a correlation, but there was also a lot more church community and church activity, which led sort of everybody to be accountable for each other. And yeah, everybody talked about each other, but it kept things in line as well. Don't know if that had an effect. That also dealt with all the religions, not just Christianity or whatever. And I know even with my own family that they don't attend church as much as they used to, and they've loosened up on some of their more rigid policies about different things. And so maybe that's part of it, is coming away from something that was very toe the line kind of thing and not letting anybody have freedom. It pushed them the other way. And who knows? I mean, maybe some of it's generational curses that they're just not taking care of, and it's just manifesting and making things worse. I don't think that there's an individual answer for why people are doing things. Someone made a comment.
You don't, I mean, so, but the fact that it's happening much more in mass, you don't think that there is obviously a catalyst to that?
Um, the biggest thing I can actually see is people breaking away from going to be into like community churches and things that are taking away from our personal bodies and our spiritual minds.
I think is more likely to break away from the church, men or women?
I think at this point both.
Who do you think is more restricted by the church?
I think women were. In a patriarchal society to Christianity, men had most of the power. And yes, we're supposed to be treated like helpmates, but half the time we got treated like second-class citizens.
So, if men
And
had the power in a patriarchal, Christian society, why
mhm.
would they want to leave the church?
Some of it was because they were probably being called on their own bad behavior. If they were abusing their spouse or their children, or they weren't doing right by their family, the community would call them out. There's still an accountability, and that's where not being in a organized form of religion gives a lack of accountability for social standards.
So, I can see this. So, do you feel that people should return to the church, or do you think that people are better off without it if this is the direction that they're going?
I absolutely have no opinion on that.
Okay, so
This
let
is
me ask you
much.
this.
This is as much fellowshipping as I do, and I have a very good spiritual relationship with my higher power. I don't make any judgment on anybody else for how they live their own spiritual presence.
Okay, so here's my thing. So you said that you feel like the changes that are happening now are more so due to people leaving uh, patriarchal Christianity, right? And
I
kind
don't
of
think
going
it's
to.
just patriarchal. I think it's religions across the board. I mean, there have been women in the Middle East who have been trying to get away from their being stoned to death for different things because it was approved by the what's it called, the through the Muslim community. You know, if they did something wrong, they could be killed to death, and the men would never be taken to task for it. You
So
know, if it was decided by a committee of men that they had done something wrong, you know, there was no democracy in that either.
but I mean, if you had a committee of men, they probably got it right.
I'm not going to dignify that with an answer, but the point is
When
that
has a committee of men ever gotten anything?
have you looked at Congress? Have you
A
looked at the
lot of
justice
women in
system?
Congress.
Now, I mean, if you look back to the 1900s, I mean, the Supreme Court was all men.
The country was doing pretty good in the 1900s.
Yeah, that's why over the last, what, 123 years, we've had to change a lot of shit because it's gone so right all the time.
No, it's just because you had more of the wrong people being born. And so when more of the wrong people arise and get to have say so, then you gotta kind of take it. And they start swaying people's opinion with false narratives, and then people start believing things. People are easily susceptible to stuff.
Well,
So
it's not the people that's the problem. It's the decisions and it's the follow through or the lack of follow through on things. I
who's
mean,
not
people
following
are
through?
people. We try to be logical, but most of us are ran by emotion. And as we both know, emotions don't do jack shit. And so the one that's got the most logical argument is going to win, whether they're right or not. That's debate 101.
So that means I win because I'm a man and I'm more logical, correct?
No. You just think you're more logical. That doesn't necessarily mean you're more logical.
Okay,
And it
so
doesn't mean that women can't be logical. It just means that we can have a emotional interference.
would you say
But it
that
doesn't mean that women can't debate on a logical level and one up the opposite sex.
which sex? 'Cause there's like 30 different genders and sexes now. So,
Oh God, I am so over that. Male, female.
okay. One, Broderick Parappa the rapper. Two, so here's my thing. Do you feel like women are better represented in the media today, or were they better represented in the media, let's say, 30 years ago in the 90s?
I think that the how the light is focused on the attention of the particular people being put in the spotlight is all right. I'm gonna fuck that up, so I'm gonna backstep on that. I'm gonna say that sex sells, no matter what decade, what generation you're in, and so everything in the media is sensationalized. So whether it's classy or trashy, they're going to find sexy in order to sell. And that's going to take it and keep it going and going and going, whether it's male or female. It doesn't always, for the most part, it makes anyone look in a bad light if it's exposing something that shouldn't be. speaking of which, I'm going to sidebar and say that I have a real issue with Jada Smith because of the fact that she is making a mockery of marriages because it's a sacred relationship. And the fact that the courts in the United States have said that women don't have to testify against their husbands because of reasons doesn't really give her, or let me put it this way, should give her a second thought about spilling his business into the street or her business about what went on, for the fact of that's what went on the sanctity of her marriage.
But what if she doesn't view things like what modern women again don't view marriage as uh, a valuable thing. I posted something the other day. Modern women just want to be brides. They don't want to be wives. They want the ceremony. They want the celebration. They want the attention. They want to be, paraded around. They want the photo shoots. They want the gifts. They want a day all about them, and they get to relive that memory of that day every year. They call it an anniversary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because men don't get shit for their anniversaries, but some socks and a used tie. But it's just like these are things that are done for women, right? These one thing about most holidays, there's all of this stuff is done for women. I mean, I know people don't
Yeah,
think of
but
it
wait a
like
minute.
that.
I'll come back. I'll come back to what I said to you last night.
Mm-hmm.
Weddings and receptions are for the community. Marriage is for the couple. That's an entity that should be private. And by putting her business out in the street, I hope to think that she doesn't think anybody should be able to comment on it, because once you make it public, it's like you've let people be entitled to criticize and comment on it.
Right.
And I mean, like y'all know, I was married for a very long time and I've been a widow. But there's things that happened in my marriage that will never come to light, because that's going to go with me and him to the grave.
Was it the
And that's
grapefruit thing?
what
Hmm?
there's things that happen between us that will go to the grave, because that's not anybody else's business but ours. And for me to put his business in the street even after he's gone, it's like it's a betrayal.
So, like, is she doing
That's
like
not being a
double
partner in a
disservice? Because
relationship.
is she like doing double disservice? Because she out here talking about Tupac like they was really an issue, and then she talking about Will. So she's speaking on a dead man who can't defend himself, and then you got your alive contractual husband, and who you're
Mm-hmm.
disrespecting openly and publicly. Again, so like I
Yep.
said, women they don't value marriage, because if you did value marriage, you would value your husband and his role in that marriage, and or women are into
It,
this new progressive, weird
but
type of
as you
relationship thing.
said, it's not valuing the marriage. It's not valuing Will as a human being, and the fact that he has, value, and the fact that, it's just fucked up the way she's doing him.
And all of you, it's never in here. It's not about hating women, y'all. It's never been that, right? Because to sit here and say that I hate all women would be a ridiculous thing to say. It's just society, media always paints one picture. All I'm doing is the small little bit I'm doing, which is not even a drop in the ocean, is just unveiling. Hey, look, there is a different side. And this happens more often than we'd like to acknowledge. And maybe there are many more like this than we would like to believe. But this is what men deal with, right? And again, y'all women aren't dating women, so y'all aren't going to see that side. Y'all's friends lie to you. I'm
Well, the
telling
thing
y'all.
is by watching this, I mean,
Mhm.
I'm appalled by the behavior, for the fact that if I talked about my ex the way she talked about hers, that would put my marriage in serious jeopardy, because, the man that I'm with would think that, he's not worthy and that we shouldn't be together, but yet she's jumping at Will and saying, oh, now that I've experienced all this, I'm okay. And it's like she's trauma baiting him all the time.
Yeah, and again, and I agree, it is Will's fault for a while, because I mean, that's been from day one. I was watching the little thing, man, made me. I'm just like, Will just Will always he put her on a pedestal from the jump. Like they showed from even in the '90s when they were married. Like he was always like I don't know if y'all know about the line test, right? I don't know if y'all have heard of the line test. When somebody takes a picture with someone, like there's a thing called the
Mhm.
line test, and
Yep.
so you have to look at the line test, and it could be one picture. You may have to look at like a couple who takes a lot of pictures, and if you look at the line test with Will and Jada, it always works. It's always Will leaning in, right?
Yep.
When it should be the man more, but it should be the woman leaning in, but it's always Will doing the one leaning in. Exactly, Jada Bell knows. So again, if you look at that, it applies, right? It's a
Mhm.
weird thing. It shouldn't be like that. So um, yeah, there was definitely a different dynamic in their relationship from the jump. And again, he allowed it to happen, and she's just going to do whatever it is she wants. Like, obviously, like I said, he look. I'm telling you, I actually second guess, and I seen some shit with him and old gal. Will knocked down old gal. Like he definitely Will did finagle whatever old gal. Like I saw some things, I saw some of the images and how friendly. Nah, buddy, yeah, Will had to have had uh, intimate relations on multiple occasions in various situations. Like that, the way that they was just there's friends and then
Oh
there's
yeah, I wouldn't have any doubt that he
friends.
had his side pieces. But one of the interesting things that I've been noting is just it's not the women that have been on the bandwagon about the whole situation. The men have been brought into it and telling Jada that, she's demasculating him and that, you know, it
Man,
that's a
nah,
rare
man,
thing. No, no, no. It's a
no,
rare
there's dudes
thing
out here
for
pumping Jade up, and I'm mad because I need to talk to Trill because Trill boy, man, look. When Trill come, y'all let me know because there's dudes out there talking about, yeah, that's why we love you. Talking about that's why we still man. The Stephen Jackson been saying some crazy stuff lately, bro. Man, he was over there probably like I get it, and she's making her tour and all that. There are men out here uplifting Jada for her behavior, right? Now I get
really?
it. I get it. Like it's one thing, it's one thing to be like, oh shit, that is. But she like again, like I understand a female's nature. Women do, like I say, the side man knows all. Once you've been a side man at some point in your life, you have been in the most like that. That's like you have all the clearances, all the government clearance, right? Like, because she's gonna, especially because women are emotional, and they're gonna try to
Yeah.
use you as the shoulder to tell all your story. Oh, you don't care. This is not what we're here for. This is not that, but you're gonna hear it, right? Because there is intermission times, so women talk,
So
even
you're
though you're
saying
not
that
a
the side piece for a woman is a therapist?
Nah, yeah, a physical therapist. So, what I
That's
mean
not a
is just
bad thing.
that, like, it's just like what they do is, so I know, like, women tell, they will tell it all, and so again, it's like that's what it's just it's baffling to me, and she just has no respect for it. And the fact that she's not the only one. There's a lot of women like that. There are a lot of women that don't have respect. They know a man is just playing a role as a ATM or a bodyguard, or they know that a man is supposed to be in the picture somewhere, but they don't understand the real role that that man is supposed to play. And this is the majority of modern women because a lot of them haven't had that visual, that understand. They don't look to understand what it truly means. They just go off some
So
shit that they
riddle
want
me
from the
this: how
books and
many
the
women
movies.
actually reset that crisis or that trigger moment with the previous relationship so that they don't go into the next one traumatizing the new one?
Okay, repeat that
Well,
again.
there's
I'm sorry.
in this society they're moving so fast that it's like a turn. What is that? The doors at the hotel lobby that go round and round. I mean, it's like you're on the merry-go-round quick enough that you're not taking care of the last trauma before you get into the next one, for crying out loud. And we wonder why there's mental health issues. Slow the fuck down, deal with what you got to do, and put the shit back in order before you jumping in the sack with somebody else, man or woman. Is it as simple as that? Hell no.
You see, a lot of people try to use jumping in the sack as the solution for the trauma, not
Yeah, it's a
realizing that
band-aid
you're
to a
compounding. Yeah,
to a
you're not
bigger
compounding.
problem.
Yeah, and then that Band-Aid
It's
might
no
become a
different
fucking
than
wound.
drugs and alcohol
Exactly. But
as
that's
a
the difference.
recreational activity. I mean, it's a physical connection, but there's emotional hangovers that get attached to it because there's no intimacy. It's just sex.
But again, but the thing is, a lot of people get that physical feeling, and depending on the situation, something that might have turned out just only supposed to be physical becomes attachment, especially with a lot of women.
Yeah, but that's sometimes where trauma-based relationships come from, and you keep
Again,
triggering
though,
each other, and then it becomes toxic.
yeah, but again, if you're not resolving that, then again it perpetuates. So the thing is, again,
Ta-da!
when we bring
There's
it
the
back to
cycle
the
of the.
to the root of it all, women are terrible
Yep.
people. Yeah, I agree.
No. I think that women aren't completely terrible people. It's just they need to learn to step back and I don't know. I feel one step removed because I am that much of an older of a generation, and I'm not that much older than you, but that 7 years does make like a difference. I know that with my sisters being 7 years younger than me, certain things flew with them, and I'm like, we never would have got away with that. And so each generation pushing the envelope, how far does it go? Are we going to just see naked women all the time?
That's my thing. Let's go back to the point that we were speaking on earlier, right? And you
Mhm.
said that people have strayed away from organized religion more so as a whole because it was oppressive on women, right?
Mhm.
So that oppression has been removed from women, and now you're seeing how women truly want to behave because women have more rights now than they have in any other time in American history. When you're
Mhm.
seeing how they're being, nobody is coercing them, nobody's forcing them, nobody's saying you're restricted. This is how women in mass are choosing how they want to behave. So, is
Mhm.
this what women really truly are at their nature?
No, I think what it is it's kind of it's a broad swing. They push out as far as they can, and they come back to where they're comfortable. And what I mean by that is Heidi made the comment that record loads of pregnancies and maternity records are high, and I think that it's swinging back to a certain sense because people realize the not it's not moral code of conduct, but it's modesty and realizing that showing less is more because they're seeing you for your personality and your brain and not just what's on your waistline and what's on
Miss
your
Miss
backside and
Bell,
your bust
I'm
line.
gonna have to disagree with you. The reason why the virginity is at all time high now, and all this is a low, is because these young men are so fucking low T that they're acting like the women. The majority of these young men are so what is it now? The average 67-year-old or something like that, or I forgot what it was like. It has more testosterone than the average 20, like something crazy, or some stupid stat.
Damn.
The average something in the 80s or something like that had more testosterone than a modern 20-year-old. Like, because testosterone rates are dropping so low because of the diet that we eat, the foods that we consume. And again, these
Yeah, the
things
GMOs and
they're
all.
detrimental more so to men than they are to women, just biologically. So um, here we are, right? Again, men are being attacked from every angle, and y'all are perpetuating. So again, women are terrible people. But I'll go back to say this: the
Well,
women.
it's tit for tat. I mean, men were doing it for centuries.
Well, what
So,
were men
not
doing?
that it's right and it's retaliatory and it
Men
can
were
be petty.
fighting dragons for women, Miss Bell. Men were climbing up long golden weave to the tower to rescue the princess. Okay, this is what men
And
do.
when you brought
Men
home that
built
lion for the woman to skin and for the woman to cook and for the
yeah,
woman to
man.
preserve while you were
I
out
can shut
hunting
my
and gathering, everybody had their jobs to do. And I think maybe that's part of it is that the job assignments have changed and everybody's confused.
Men did invent the GMOs. Heidi, you're right about that. That's the one flaw men ever had. They invented the GMOs. Everything else men have done is perfect. Um,
What?
Men have never failed. So, like, again, men even built like a Trojan. Men, that's just what I'm saying. Like, women, y'all are so unappreciative. Men like built a whole big wooden horse and hid in that motherfucker for a couple of days to like go rescue some chick that didn't even want to be. She didn't want to be saved. But
Shoot, the man got the idea from a woman because we have a vagina and men want to stick stuff up in there all the time. Wow.
Well, think about that one. Um,
Mm. I
I'm
mean,
gonna
Trojan
disagree.
horse, and the hidden value of the sacredness of a woman.
That was a horse's stomach, or maybe like at most a horse's ass. Like if that's what you want to compare, a vagina to. I mean, that's cool. I mean, I always imagined the Trojan horse had like like a little wooden exit, like a little ass. He just jumped out the back. I mean, they had like a little rope that they threw down. I don't know. I don't know how big the horse was, but I would
I
not
don't
say
either.
that the horse was based on. I would say the horse was probably based off a horse.
Could be, but it's still a sacred vessel, so it would have to be a female
What? No,
because
see,
men don't have that inside.
it was a wooden horse. It was definitely a male wooden horse because that's how they got in. That's what they used in the slide. They dropped the little horse wood down, rode a little horse wood out. It looked like little
Hmm.
horse pecker, and they slid down there. That was like the secret control. It was a male horse. It was a stallion, like Meg. It was a male horse. Yeah,
All right, I'll let you think so.
yeah,
So it means they were all shooting out his butt then, right?
probably because that's the least likely place. Like you saw the horse and you were like, big wooden horse at the gate. Probably a female horse. Surprise, nigga. It's a horse there. Horse dick drops. They slide down the horse dick, start attacking. Some dude jump out the little wooden horse ass, and then they took over the city. Then they go try to get the
There you
bitch.
go.
The bitch, and they slaughtered all these men that died, and the bitch like, I don't even want to go. You know what I'm saying? And then there you go. You did all this shit. The bitch ain't even want to go. So a bunch of men went and lost their life for this ungrateful broad, right? You know why? Because she fucking with the side man. The side man knows. I keep telling you all this stuff correlates. It all comes back together. Y'all got to listen to me. I don't be just saying this stuff just
Shoot,
to be
even
saying.
Cleopatra had a side piece.
Cleopatra was a whore.
Yeah, as they say.
But again,
We got
again,
way off track
yeah. But
tonight.
but I, again. But yeah. I do thank you though because you called in and you validated that I was right. When you let women have too much freedom, they go berserk. So women need oppressive religions. No, no, seriously. They apparently they need oppressive religions to keep them in line. That's what you're telling me. That's what I've of everything that we've talked about in this phone call this evening. That's my only takeaway.
No. I think that there was an imbalance of power. I'm not saying that it was all wrong. I'm saying that it definitely needed to be adjusted. There's a way to live in peace without feeling as though there's always going to be a dominant and a submissive in a relationship.
There has to be. There cannot be balance. There will never be equality. There will never
Okay,
be
you're
50
absolutely right
50.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
There's never going to be equality in a relationship, but that doesn't mean the relationship can't be equal, and there is the difference.
Mm.
Two things can be different and still be the same. As you very well said, the men go out hunting and gathering, and the women are the home hearth burners. Both of them do certain jobs in order to do the whole job. Is it ever going to be equal? No. Are there going to be times that the women are out fishing and the men are, hanging a clothesline? Probably. But the fact is working as a team, yes, you're right. There are going to be some submissive jobs and there's going to be some aggressive jobs. But not all by choice is it going to ever be equal. You're going to have widow and widowers on both ends. You're going to have, people that just don't get married. So there's got to be some sort of balance. It doesn't always have to be equal because, as we very well know, it's not always 50-50. Sometimes it's 20-80. Sometimes it's 60-40. But when it's constantly 30-70 on one end or the other, that's not balanced either.
I hear you. I hear you. So women need a oppressive religion to keep their asses in line. I got
Eh, but that means you would have to manipulate and persuade women to come back to something that they
you.
felt as
What?
though was betraying
Have
them.
you ever been to a black church?
Yes,
lately,
as a matter of fact.
it's all
I
women
was in
in
a black
there.
church for 4 years.
It's all women in there. That's what they tell women to go to try to
Uh,
find. There's nothing but women in the church.
well, we did have more women, but we had a pretty balanced crowd. We were a small church of like 80, though.
So think about a big city, though. A big city where women outnumber men, because women outnumber men as a whole across the board. Then you got to think about the black community, where you have a significant number of the population who, for whatever reason, is incarcerated or unavailable. And then, like I said, and then you got women who, for whatever reason, seem to be more susceptible to that kind of talk. I would dare say that it's significantly more women going to uh, Christian churches.
Faith-based religions, but yeah.
And I wouldn't just say that, because I mean, I don't know if women are just signing up in droves to become Muslim or anything like that. I think that's a much more restrict. Women like to show off and they like attention. They can be Christian and still get attention. Like, they Muslim and they got to be wrapped up and all they can do is show their chin. They not gonna like that shit. For whatever it is, it might not be Muslim. Might be. I'll probably mix them all up. So don't get on man. This is not the same religion. Y'all
No,
understand
that's
what I'm
the
talking
ultimate of modesty is having your head to toe be covered. Is because they're not looking you and objectifying you.
So do you think those women who are covered head to toe make better wives?
I think they make more submissive wives because it's not concentrated on being objectified in public. And it makes the husband feel more comfortable because their wife's not being looked at. There's a less rate of jealousy because of the fact she's covered. Well,
I mean, I'm
it's
just saying.
modesty at its finest.
I don't know. All I know is I'm pretty sure. Never mind. I'll say that for Friday. Those that's a whole different conversation. Oh,
Just a quick example, sidebar, is that when I was growing up, I mean, I would have got my ass tore up if I came out of my bedroom without a house coat on. I mean, I'd have pajamas on, obviously, or whatever, but you had to have house coat and slippers on when you came out of your bedroom. It was modesty, and nothing less was tolerated. Today, you're lucky if, you get some women, that even have any clothes on.
right.
So,
Because nobody's telling them it's not appropriate. Why? You know why?
right,
You want to know why women do this? I can tell you exactly why and what happened and why women are worse.
sure.
Because what has happened now is that women don't tell women anything negative about themselves, right? They let each other do whatever the fuck they want to, right? So I always refer back to the bonnet thing with Monique. And my opinions on bonnets, y'all know that well. But I even had to admit about do rags being the male bonnet, so it's not like I play sides. Like, if I see something, I'm always gonna call it fair, the way the fairness. But
Mhm.
Monique talked about the reason, or when she had a conversation, she was like, basically, nobody told him it wasn't appropriate to wear. You know why nobody told him? Because there was no man in the house to say, take that shit off your fucking head before you go outside. You look tacky as hell,
Mhm.
and have some couth about yourself. But instead, you live in a household with other women, right? And so they figure, one, there's no men around, so they dress however, whatever. They don't. The modesty's kind of out the window, and it gets to the point where you're so used to it, you're so lazy, you're so comfortable with it. It happens, maybe a generation or two, and nobody ever says it. There's no discipline, there's no structure. You just start going out however you want to, because nobody tells you nothing, and you can't police me. You can't. Then you have the whole world telling you everything you do is golden, but it's bare minimum shit. Like, it's gonna put this idea in your mind, and it's gonna not be a quality idea. And so, when women don't tell other women, hey, what you're doing ain't good, hey, maybe you should do this, you should do that, this is what happens, right? But instead, y'all women paint as liberation and freedom, and we're escaping oppression. Escaping oppression just makes women extremely lazy, or it makes them less quality versions of themselves, right? Like, they lower their standards because nobody's mansplaining or whipping them into shape. Like, again, y'all set low bars for yourselves. I think as Americans,
So
we
let
all
me
do.
ask you a question. Do men judge other men as harshly as women do?
Women don't judge anybody harshly. Women only judge the man who's trying to fuck them harshly. Other than that, but they hate other women. But so let me rephrase that. Right, but they hate on women. This is where women are fucked up because women will hate on each other, and so they know what they should be telling other women, but they won't. And then they'll befriend that woman and tell her instead of telling her the shit they needed, they'll tell her the exact fucking opposite. Right? Instead of telling her, hey, what you're doing is detrimental to your baby. You shouldn't be fucking with all these dudes. Oh, girl, I see you. Ooh, girl, you pulling them. Ooh, go ahead. And they'll encourage that shit. And then behind their back, that bitch a hoe. She can fuck 17 niggas this week or whatever. And and they do this. This is female behavior of friends. And so I hate to see female enemies because
Yeah, that's the bandwagoning of like sorority sister bullshit. Yes, I get it. But on an individual note, I don't know. I see the ratio of that a little bit different.
¿Qué pasa?
Well, the fact is that no woman really wants to confront another woman about her bad behavior because the fact is that you're putting it on the line that she's not enough. And we already hear that a lot from men. Now, I may be right or wrong about that, but I know that I've felt that.
So that doesn't make it a bad thing, though. So if you're hearing it a lot,
Not
then maybe
necessarily,
somebody's
no.
telling you something. So that's what I'm saying.
Right,
But
not
you're not
necessarily
doing a
so.
disservice. That's again. I always go back to saying if I had a homeboy and he was like, you know what, those crackheads look like they have a real good time. I think I must try some
Mm-hmm.
crack. I'm not gonna say, yeah, go do that. Can't nobody tell you what to do because people been telling you what to do all life. Everybody your parents been telling you what to do and telling you, you know what, I'm not going to that. That doesn't make sense to me. If you're doing wrong and it's going to a detrimental path, you should hear it as much as it needs to be heard to get you to stop doing it. And so not telling women their behavior is bad because a man said it when you know it's bad is not helping her at all. It's actually hindering her significantly.
Mm. Hold on, sidebar. Gamma Girl, I was using sorority girls as a grouping of women, not necessarily sorority girls as college situations, more as a female grouping. I wanted to clarify that.
Five, slam a
I
bell.
wasn't trying to backstep on it. It was just that it was the first group of women that I thought about that are really tight together usually, and they can be as good as they are, and they can be as mean as they are. I mean,
That's just women's nature. Period. Women can be
no,
good and
not
they can be terrible.
necessarily.
Oh, absolutely. You never heard. You don't hear the saying. Oh, look at them. There they go. Those mean boys. But there is a phrase. There is a term for young women. Mean girls. That's a thing. Why? Because y'all are mean for no reason. Y'all are terrible, bad people for no reason.
Usually there's a reason behind it. It's just not always so in your face.
There's never a reason. Women are terrible people.
Well, I
Women
mean,
women don't get mad.
trauma
Women will
based
women
trauma based with people is more hidden, and it comes out on a very can come out in a very fucked up way, but it doesn't make it not real.
but it doesn't make it the other person's fault either. So if you got these
No, you're
traumas
absolutely
that you
right.
don't know about that are popping out at weird times that somebody doesn't has no idea about,
No,
then
I
you
absolutely agree with you
yeah,
100% on that.
yeah.
I'm just saying that shit, men and women get triggered all the time. I mean, statistically speaking, men have a higher percent of road rage over women. I'm not saying women don't, because there is a percentage, but women tend to rattle off with their mouth and push the buttons, and men tend to rattle off with their physical being.
Do
If
you
that's
do you know why men have a higher rate of road rage than women?
probably the testosterone.
Because women are driving on the same roads as men. Let's go.
Oh yeah, that's mansplaining.
How was that man's play?
That's a whole bunch of horseback. Yeah, no. I have definitely more problems with seniors in Florida driving than I have with men driving. But that's a whole nother story. All right, I need to make sure that there's time for other people and did not intend to go this long, but appreciative. And all of you, it's free. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And got any more questions?
No, I have no further questions, Ms. Bell.
And you have decided on a movie for tonight, correct?
I will get with Ms. D again after the stream. She has provided 2 selections, and I'm going to chat with her after the stream to see, which one we're going to go with this evening. So we will have her to Tuesday.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, Ms. Bell, thank you for calling in this evening.
All right, good night.
All right. Y'all know I had to talk to Miss. I needed Miss Bell to represent for the women because none of the other women call in regularly. I know I can always depend on a Bell. Well, what's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Man, what's good, Honcho? It's J-Bell.
J-Bell, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What's on your mind this evening, Mr. J-Bell?
Can we have a real conversation now that we done got around all the bullshit?
Let's talk.
Because women, like Miss Bell just displayed very ungracefully, they flip-flop around topics, they beat around the bush, and they constantly contradict themselves. She agreed with you on points that would prove other points that you had, but then denied those same points that you were making. Make it make sense. I don't understand. And this is not hating women. We love women.
Absolutely.
We just hate the bullshit. We hate the unaccountability. We hate the whorish behavior. We hate the acceptance of the whorish behavior and the fact that it's being pushed. And they don't even realize that it's men that have allowed them to be whores. The men that they didn't want in the past. The niggas that had to trick off just to get some. That's the reason that y'all got this quote-unquote sexual freedom. Which is something that's not supposed to be free. That's an oxymoron in itself. That's supposed to be the one thing that gives women power, and they just out here slinging it around. So y'all, the one piece of power that y'all actually do have, y'all don't even fucking appreciate it. Y'all just throwing it on any motherfucker willy-nilly. And then be mad when he don't appreciate it or do right with it. Because he was never supposed to have it. He never deserved it. But then y'all go a step further and don't take accountability that y'all gave it to him.
Bill came to preach tonight.
Spread our word. So, known by many names.
So I'm gonna ask you your opinion. I asked Ms. Bell a couple of questions. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. Do you think women were better represented, or women are better represented now, or were they better represented, say, 30 years ago in the 90s?
They were better represented when they didn't need to be represented. Stay your ass in the house. Be a wife. Be a mother. That's your purpose. Your purpose ain't out here. Your purpose ain't to be out here doing all the whole shit that they doing nowadays. Your purpose is not to be a business mogul or whatever else these females are trying to sell to other females. Because at the end of the day, all those females that gain this quote-unquote success end up being miserable. End up being 50, 60 years old with cats and complaining to everybody about how they wish they did things differently. You don't need to be represented. Let your man represent the household. That's the way things were meant to be.
But the thing about that is, and women don't realize that they do it to themselves, right? Because it's in your own nature. Especially, fine, go ahead, be the businesswoman, be the whatever you want. But those things aren't going to matter to a man. And if you're not
Exactly.
capable of the things that man wants, like your degrees don't fucking matter. Your be like all that shit don't matter. Like again, a man it's a physical thing, and so you can build that business. And the problem's gonna be if you build that business, say you don't take care of yourself. Okay, you're gonna be less attractive, and yeah, you're gonna have more money, so you're gonna think you have more options, but you're not because you're gonna want a man that makes more money than you. So now you've limited
Right.
yourself
And
to the type of man you want. That was good.
And any man that's attracted to you because you have money is not the type of man you want to attract.
Exactly. So,
because that's the same dudes that they call bums. That's the same dudes that they say ain't shit. But yet, y'all are doing all the things to attract that type of dude. Make it make sense.
Yeah, that's all we're saying. How you doing this evening? Keeping it real time, right? How you doing this evening, man? But it's like, and that's the thing. It's so like because of the woman's nature, she's always going to look up. Women look up. They look for the next best thing. It is what it is. Men should understand that. It's not y'all's fault. Not blaming you for it. Just it is what it is. There are exceptions to every rule, so don't y'all come bombarding with the not all honcho. Not all of us behave that way.
Not all, but most. And
Yeah.
and it's not just women. That's human nature to look for the best thing.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want the best? But at the same time, women's problem is their problem is being accountable and being realistic with themselves and knowing what is the best for them. What is the best that they can get? And they being gassed up to think that they can get things that aren't attainable for them. All these women want a man making over six figures. That's 1% of men. And then y'all wonder why y'all are getting cheated on. Because y'all all want the same man.
Yeah. He's got options. Like, and
It's
that's
called math.
like women, and I'm saying earlier, women hate a dude with options, right? Because they know they can't approach him the way with the same generic female game that they use on, and if you want to call it, I won't even call that game, the same generic female tactics that they can use on other men successfully, right? And if they want a man, they have to actually work for it, right? If they truly want that, and you're gonna make them work for it. It's not gonna be an easy thing, and they hate that shit, right? And a lot of women get frustrated. I've seen women say they rather date dudes that's maybe a little less attractive. That's good dudes because they don't want to be having to deal with a man that has this, that, or the third, or whatever. People have their own reasons for things, but yeah.
If they can't just bat their eyes and poke their ass out, it's too much work for them.
And I agree. You say, but Gamma, like again, who wants to follow a man that can? Men won't follow a man that can't lead. So I absolutely 100% agree with you. Just don't pick a man that can't lead.
And at the same time, but see, let me address that because you can't lead a woman who don't want to be led. Yeah. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make that motherfucker drink.
Trill used a great analogy a couple of years back, but I always think about this. It's the perfect thing, especially when we were talking about black women some years ago and protection and stuff like that. And he's like, have you ever tried to herd cats? Nobody does it. Nobody tries to herd cats. Why?
It's impossible.
You can't herd cats, right? Cats are independent. They do what the fuck they want to when they want to. You can't tell a cat nothing. So black women are like cats, right? And can you herd cats? No. So it'd be very difficult to protect, organize, and structure cats in the way they want, and they're also feisty with it.
I will say this though. That's the thing we got to stop doing because it's not just black women, especially at this point.
Oh, you're right.
It's the majority of women. Period.
You see the jitty mice out there
because unfortunately what this bullshit that we call black culture is actually just American culture or popular culture, and everybody wants to be what they assume is us or our culture, and so they all are taking part in this fuckery.
So, all right, here's my thing, right? I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna start arguing with the ladies tonight. I'm gonna let the ladies make it. I'm gonna let y'all chat in the chat. I'm gonna let y'all have it.
Nah, fuck that.
You say fuck it?
Nah, fuck that.
Okay.
We
Well,
ain't
I see.
letting them have shit.
Because I
That's the
see.
problem, Honcho.
Because I
See,
see. I
that's
see.
the problem. Nah.
CJ, man, I was finna. It was really a sneak attack. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna say I was gonna let them have it
Oh, it was a
now.
Trojan horse.
Yeah,
My bad.
it was the Trojan horse. You feel me? I was gonna let them have it. Bam, hop in the Discord. What the fuck was you? You know what I'm saying? And bam, hit him with the trill style attack. You know what I'm saying? Like a bomb. You know, but it's all good. It's all good. We can handle it now. So y'all in there talking about finding a man that can lead and all that stuff. Again, you have to choose men that are leaders. We talked about it just now. Y'all all want the same man. If it's not Mr. Six Figures, it's Mr. Super Nigger. You know what I'm saying? And that's the nigga in the hood that's got 6, 7, 8 baby mamas. Y'all all want for y'all. I'm gonna be the one that can change him.
And
I've got the magic pussy to do it.
They all want the same nigga, but they don't believe in polygamy.
Exactly. Like, you know, you sharing this nigga. This nigga go see his baby mamas, be there for a few hours. Don't come back with no kids. Oh, she said she's gonna keep me this weekend. You know, whatever. And y'all know what it is. Like, because you want to be the woman who says, yeah, I tamed him. I tamed the wild lion of the hood. Like, y'all. And again, I will have to agree with something Heidi says. What's up, young Ken? I will have to agree with something what Heidi says, partially. We talk about genital pride. She says in the black community, this is true. Black women talk about the $1 million pussy and all this crazy, just far-fetched stuff, right? It's always songs about and all that other shit, right? And I'm not gonna say niggas don't do it. We had Magic Stick and some other shit, I'm sure. Well, I don't think we ever.
But we do indeed have the magic stick.
Yeah. But it's not like we're putting a price on it. You know, we're just saying, hey, we have worked on our technique, and now that we have a magical ability, right? That's work and that's effort and something. Like, nobody starts out as a wizard. You got to learn the spells. You got to start with small potions, right. And you work to the magic. So that's that.
And we're willing to bless you with it. Yeah, we're willing to share this with you.
Yeah, y'all trying to put a price on the pussy. $1 million. God damn, I can't even put shit on layaway. Can I have a little piece of pussy?
They don't try. It's always a price on it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get some discount pussy. You know what I mean? Shit, goddamn. I mean, this is $1 million. I can't afford that. But no, all bullshit to the side. So when we talk about leaders, you can't. A woman has to make up her mind, and that's the thing. Women want to have their cake and eat it too, right? Because you want the man with every quality, but you also want to be Mr. Movie Star looks and the pocket. Like, women have a hard time seeing true potential, right? There's potential in a man who might not be in a place, who's working to get there. And women don't want to do that. They want the already finished product.
Let's be real though, Honcho.
Okay, what's that?
They don't want a man to lead them, period. No, they want a man that's gonna let them do whatever the fuck they want to do.
And fight anybody.
They don't want to be led. They want to lead us to our demise. That's what they want to do. In the name of women's rights and sexual freedom and whatever other bullshit that they come up with. And that's the issue. They try to come up with the bullshit of, oh, I just can't find the man to lead me, or he ain't worthy of me being submissive to him. How do you know that if you never even gave him a chance to show you that he can lead?
Yeah, that's true. Again, we're talking about a lot of good guys.
They talk out their ass and they talk in circles and try to throw the pussy on you and put you in a trance. And hope it all works out. And if all else fails, they'll pull a Jada and shame you and make you look like the bad guy.
Mm-hmm. See, here's the thing, Michelle. There's no such thing as an emotionally unavailable man, right? A man who is not emotionally opening up to you is probably a smart man, right? Because
he either smart or he just don't like you like that.
True. And so
that's not your relationship.
women will do to a man the same thing y'all do to y'all so-called friends, right? Y'all will be besties with a bitch for however long. It'll be one stupid ass incident, that y'all been waiting for to happen, and y'all will blow it up,
Yeah,
and
because
y'all
they
will
really
turn.
hated that bitch the whole time.
Exactly, and y'all turn it into a thing, and she was this, and you'll every secret she ever shared, and all this other blah 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 blah, and y'all hear that. Same thing with men. A man who confides in a woman honestly is taking a big gamble, because every man knows, especially if you've had a significant long term, nobody can sting you like your bitch. No, she can hit you in ways that nobody can. And like you say, but you have to be cautious about the things, because a woman will use
You
that
seen Will's
against.
face on that
Yeah,
fuck when he was sitting at that goddamn red table.
yeah, and
That man,
they'll
his stomach was cutting cartwheels.
and they'll revel in it, right? And they'll
Oh, they love
relish
it.
it,
They love
yeah,
it.
because they can't physically hurt you. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
they know that that you can, like, a man would never do things like that. Men don't do shit like that. Only men that do that are men who are raised in certain situations and come out kind of effeminate. Like those type of men do shit like that. But men are they're not gonna
Or,
take all your shit and use it
well,
against you. You know what I'm saying?
either that or a man that's been pushed past his breaking point.
You done did. Oh yeah, you done
Because
done done some.
I've done things that I'll be honest, I've done things I'm not proud of when it comes to shit like that. But I was pushed. I had enough, Honcho.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
Like,
every
okay,
man
that's
has
how
a,
we playing.
yeah.
I could play
Now,
that game better than you, bitch.
yeah. Oh, we know sometimes now if you got to pull a one upper, then sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
That's what I'm saying.
If it's about proving a point, and a point has to be made, but
Exactly.
yeah, women will do it with no point.
When a
They'll do it just to see you suffer. Like,
just for shits and giggles.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why men don't share their emotions with women, right? Because
Exactly.
again, we keep telling y'all, like, y'all don't understand your friends and your associates, because one, y'all ain't dealing with these women in an intimate way. Like, y'all have there are a lot of soulless women out there, right? And I understand, like, it's a lot of shit that happens, and it's a lot of shit that goes on in the world, and I do feel sorry for y'all to an extent, but a lot less of it would happen if you listen to men more, right? But so, again, it's kind of what it is. When you do what you want to do, when you want to be a pioneer, and you go out into the wilderness, and you're going to go find new reaches of freedom or whatever, well, you might encounter a bear, right? You might come across a snake or two. You know what I'm saying? And hope you are prepared to deal with that.
That's
Like, so
the risk you take. Yeah.
yeah. So if a motherfucker say, "Hey, man, look, if you want to stay completely safe, your best bet is stay the fuck out the woods," and you're like, "No,
And
fuck that. Freedom's on the other side of the
for
woods." You know?
the women in the chat, when we say listen to men, it's not like the bullshit that y'all believe all women. That's not what we're saying. We're not saying listen to all men, because there's a lot of bitch ass niggas out here.
Yeah.
And that's the ones that they listening to. The simps that tell them it's okay to come outside half naked. It's okay to be a whore.
Look,
It's okay to go have 5 kids by 5 different men. I'm gonna take care of you. And I'm not saying there's not good women that have kids and get divorced or have kids with the wrong person and end up finding the right man that'll, step into that situation and take care of you and yours. That does happen.
Yeah.
But the majority of those situations are brought up by unnecessary decisions. So when we say listen to men, we saying listen to the men that call y'all out on y'all bullshit, that hold y'all accountable.
Yeah. A person who cares about you
Because
is going to help you see you improve. Period.
exactly. And y'all call that hating women. But what it is that we love y'all so much, we want to see y'all do better, because we know what y'all are really capable of being.
Absolutely.
And on that note, that's my call.
All right, Mr. J. Mill, you joining us for Tubi Tuesday this evening?
I'll slide in there and see what's up. But I don't have much faith in Dealer Gambler's movie choices. Should have let a man pick.
Cold game. They playing popcorn. You know how the women do. We've been playing popcorn. Women just been picking other women. Because I think it went from
Yeah, they pick each other. Yeah.
Who was it? Was it I think Broderick picked the movie. Then it went to who it went to after? Was it Michelle after Broderick?
Michelle.
I think Michelle and then Nasty together. So yeah, it is what it is though. Yeah, they do know. I mean, Broderick be siding with the ladies and shit, so you know how that is. But
yeah, I'm disappointed in Broderick. I can't believe he popcorned it to a woman. But want to be in the chat being talking. How you go? Stop flip flopping, Broderick. Stand on your 10.
So BT on Mr. J.
What does the word say, Broderick? If women can't be in the pulpit, how you gonna let them pick the movie on Tubi Tuesday, Broderick?
Damn, we can't even let them pick the movies on Tubi Tuesday. That's bad.
No, I'm playing. I'm trolling. Let me stop before they be on my ass.
It's gonna be chaos in a minute. Oh shit! That's a big Mr. J Mail, man.
That's a bad honcho.
Shout out to Mr. J Mail for calling in. All right, so it is about that time. It is Tubi Tuesday. It is on the dot, actually, 11 o'clock. So we about to rock. Let me go ahead and drop the Discord link up in that thing. It is Tubi Tuesday, gang. So I'm finna shoot you a message right now, again. Because I know you had 2 selections. I'm gonna look at them real quick and see if you had a preferred one of the 2. And then we're gonna get ready to rock it Tubi Tuesday. So make sure you get your snacks together. Make sure you know, whatever's, because it's going down, right? It's going down. Hey, the lovely Miss Sarah Lou. What you talking about? Oh, who did him wrong? Oh, he's called. Y'all don't be listening to the men come into the den and we share our hearts with y'all. We openly tell y'all why we feel this way. We explain. Ain't nobody trying to be super player out here. Like, look, we all have flaws, right? And we share that. We speak on that. And you ladies, who we care about and we love so much in the den, that we appreciate so much for being here. Those of you who do actually share with us, you know, we're just trying to get understanding. And y'all say, y'all are bashing. We're speaking on experiences, speaking on personal experiences, life experiences. This is not about some weirdo on the internet telling their story. I'm the weirdo on the internet, I guess. But this is not about some weird old person following. Well, they said on this channel, like, I have a life. I am a real human being, right? I exist in reality. And things. I mean, it is what it is, right? And I've discovered a lot more recently than I wish I'd have known some time ago, right? Sometimes in life you can sell yourself short, and you don't even know it. Like, you don't know that you're selling yourself short. But anyway, so it's not about any of that. It's not about we share ourselves with y'all, right? And we've told y'all many times, why we feel this way. The ladies say, you guys are just a bunch of horn dogs, and it's all y'all do is oogle women and objectify us. That's not the case. Not at all. Anyway, I got to give y'all that den link, right? Okay. See? Don't hate. Let me get this thing. Okay, I've been fucking around in this. What? No, we're not doing that. Blickety. Blickety. Now I'm first in the Discord. Anywho, see, I'll be telling y'all, beat me there, don't beat me there. But sometimes I do cheat, right? Sometimes I take advantage. Let me drop the Discord link in here. Make sure y'all getting that thing, man. No, it's for your birthday. Happy birthday! Oh, not for Heidi. I thought keeping it real time out. It says I rescind that happy birthday. This is why I can't be reading the chat after I be doing too much shit, fucking with y'all. Got me giving Heidi congratulations for nothing. Heidi's a terrible person every day, but one of my favorite terrible people. All right, man. So You got all that in there. That's the Discord link. Make sure y'all in the Discord. We finna watch Tubi Tuesday. If you don't know what Tubi Tuesday is, we get in the Discord. We watch Tubi as a group. It's a group watch party, and we go. Have y'all ever seen, like, what was that, Mystery Science Theater 2000, 3000? That used to be like a show. I used to love watching that shit when I was young. And they just sit there, they cap on the movies all fucking day. That's what this is like, but like in a group setting, right? So let's watch some Tubi. Tubi Tuesday, Discord, be in that thing. Like, probably get that shit started in like 5 to 10 minutes. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all again. It is my honor, it is my privilege, but more than anything, it is my pleasure. I thank y'all for being here. I truly do appreciate each and every one of you. Dead folk, man. Y'all make it all worthwhile, man. Like I said, it is at the end of the day, just to get to chop it up with y'all. It's like, again, we get to sit amongst friends and we fuss, we cuss, but shit, it's all about us, man. I fuck with y'all. Y'all ain't got to go home. I'm telling y'all, get in the Discord. I just put the link in there. I'll pin it real quick to the top of the deal. But you guys to get the fuck up out of here. So adios, amigos. Arrivederci. And some other shit. I don't know, man. Just get out. I'm tired. You starting to disgust me.